Hey, year sevens. So I just want to take up one of the questions from our homework. There's a lot of discussion generated around this question, which I think is great. So we're going to go through the probability of some of these. So the first one is asked, what's the probability of something being even or up 5? Key there's or. So that means I'm rolling a standard dice. It can be a 2, a 4, a 6, or a 5. It can be any of these possibilities. That's what the or means. It can be any of those possibilities. So that would really mean that's 4 out of 6 chances, or simplified to 2 out of 3. So that's for A, and a really easy way to think of A. B generated a lot of discussion. I think it's kind of a good thing to be able to have conversations like that. So we have the probability of something that's even and a 5. So this means that the number must be even. It could be a 2, a 4, a 6, and so it must be this, and it must be a 5. What are the chances of something being an even number and being a 5 at the same time? Is really what this is asking. It's saying it must be both even and a 5. So what's the chances of something being both even and a 5? And it really cannot be both even and a 5 because a 5 is not an even number. So the chances of that are 0 to 6. And that's kind of the important part about thinking about and is that both criteria must be true or must be met for an and statement. And that's the key part of that one. So I really wanted to make sure I took a second with that one. C. So with C, what's the chances that we have something that's at least 5? So that says that 5 is the lowest number, at least 5. So at least 5, so that would mean that we could have 5 or 6 as the possible probability there. So 5 would be the lowest it could be, and then you could have 6 as well. So at least 5, and that would be 2 out of 6, or it'd be 1/3. D, greater than 5. So what's the probability of being on a standard dice number being greater than 5? I can only think of one number that could be greater than 5. So the probability of a number being greater than 5. And the only one number I can think of on a dice is a 6, so that's a 1 out of 6 chances. E, less than 5. So 5 cannot be less than itself, but 1, 2, 3, and 4 can all be. So the probability of something being less than 5, so it's supposed to be less than simple, would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that would be a 4 out of 6, or a 2/3 probability. F, at most 5. So that means 5 is the top, and it's all numbers up to and including 5. So that's probability of at most 5, and so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's going to be 5 out of 6 chances. G, what are the chances of it being not 5? Well, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not possible, and 6, so that's going to be 5. So the probability of it being not 5 is a 5 out of 6 probability. H, odd but not 5. So this is a good example of a, oh, not really, sorry. I was looking for a, but or not both, so the mutually exclusive one. So let me try to fit H here. H, odd but not 5 would be 1 and 3. So again, that would be 2 out of 6 chances, or 1/3 chances. So probability of odd not 5 would be 2 out of 6 chances, or 1/3 chances. HI, less than 4 and even. So it must be both of these. Both must be true. So what are numbers that are less than 4 and even? I can only think of 2 that is less than 4 and also even. So that would be probability of less than, let me just draw the signs, less than 4 and even would be only the number 2, so that'd be 1 out of 6 chances. Let's see if I can squeeze J up here. J, less than 4 or even. Less than 4 or even. So the numbers that can be less than 4 would be 1, 2, 3, and or even is just, there we go, I think it's just those 3, because it would be 1, 2, and 3 are less than 4, or even, it's also 2, you don't count it twice, so that would be, the probability of that would be, I can't fit it all in, but it would be 1/3, or if you're like, whoa, 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 Mr. Smith, it's also 3/6. Last one, less than 4, or even, but not both. So I'm going to have to erase it all to try to get this to fit. So pause if you're desperately trying to write things down. So I just need more room. So for K, I'm just going to sketch this out. So for K, it must be less than 4, so 1, 2, or 3, or even, but not both. So it can be less than 4, 1 and 3, or even, which is the only possibility is 2, but not both. So that means we have to actually cancel it out, so it's going to be 1 and 3. So that gives us 2/6. Our probability of that one would be 2 out of 6, or it'd be 1/3 reduced properly. So there's that homework taken up for you. I'm going to have an example kind of explaining our vocabulary in a second.